This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
A proposal would add 4 new red light cameras at 2 problematic intersections in Moses Lake.
U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has announced his plan to roll back Obama-era policies on states legalizing marijuana.
It was a good night for the Ephrata Tigers, who beat the visiting Quincy Jacks in both boys and girls basketball by large margins.
Kashmir High School basketball teams hosted the OMAC Pioneers Saturday night.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News. And it starts now.
A proposal would add 4 new red light cameras at 2 problematic intersections in Moses Lake. The City Council will consider the proposal from Chief Kevin Fuhr during Tuesday's council meeting. The new Red Flex red light cameras would be placed northbound and southbound on Stratford Road at the Walmart and Winco Foods intersection, as well as northbound and southbound on South Pioneer Way at East Hill Avenue. Fuhr said the 2 intersections are responsible for 35 collisions in the past 3 years. Red Flex Systems conducted a traffic survey at both intersections, which involved a 12-hour video survey of traffic violations at each location. The survey found 73 violations at the Stratford Road and Winco Walmart intersection during the 12 hours and 78 at Pioneer and Hill. The city currently has 5 red light cameras, 2 at the intersection of Stratford and West Valley Road, 1 at the intersection of West Broadway Avenue and Alder Street, and 2 on South Pioneer Way near Moses Lake High School. The cameras are used to detect drivers who run red lights, except for the cameras along Pioneer Way near the high school that detect speed violators in the school zone. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by
Maytag and the family pooch have a lot in common. Both are loyal, both aim to please, and both are tenacious dish cleaners. But only one can sanitize. Maytag, what's inside matters.
Maytag Appliances, now available at more furniture in Ephrata.
U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has announced his plan to roll back Obama-era policies on states legalizing marijuana. The U.S. Justice Department has served a hands-off attitude since Attorney General James Cole released a memorandum in 2013. But as of last week, AG Sessions has revoked the Cole memo in a statement that he called a return to rule of law. Over half of the United States have legalized marijuana use, medical or recreational, and in a 12-month period, Washington has created almost $315 million in sales tax revenue. The Back Porch, a premier cannabis retailer in Wenatchee, says they're not too worried about Sessions' revoke of the Cole memo.
I don't know. It would honestly go to court for so long, and I don't foresee him being in office that long. And I foresee the next person who's going to follow him up to replace that memorandum that he redacted. And so I don't foresee it, this state of being for too long.
Washington State Governor Jay Inslee released a statement saying that he will vigorously defend the state's laws against undue federal infringement, along with Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson, who said that he and his office is prepared to defend the state's laws. Although there is no specific enforcement from the Department of Justice to fight just yet. I'm Madison Meyer with iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by
Are your taste buds bored? Well, then bring them to Jay's Teriyaki. Not only does Jay's have a variety of teriyaki dishes, they also offer mouth-watering salads and sides. Call Jay's 509-764-5155. Jay's Teriyaki, located at 123 East Broadway in Moses Lake, because it's all in the sauce.
It was a good night for the Ephrata Tigers, who beat the visiting Quincy Jacks in both boys and girls basketball by large margins. The girls team jumped ahead early in a hurry, entering halftime up 42-6. Ephrata starters sat most of the second half, including all of the fourth quarter, allowing for the hopeful future stars to get significant playing time. Quincy played tougher defense in the second half, but it wasn't enough to keep Ephrata from getting the big win, 59-14. Defense was the name of the game early when the boys played each other, with Quincy boys refusing to let the game get away from them in the first half. The first quarter ended in a tie, and Ephrata only led by 7 going into halftime. After halftime, the Tigers exploded, scoring nearly more than double the points that they did in the first half, eventually beating down the resilient Jacks 54-28. Ephrata plays again tonight when they host Grandview, a team that both the boys and girls have already beaten this season. Quincy will travel to Sela tonight. I'm Am Chikoski for iFIBER 1 Sports.
Kashmir High School basketball teams hosted the OMAC Pioneers Saturday night. The Kashmir girls were coming into the game after a 4-point win against Timberlake, while the OMAC girls were fresh off a 37-point win against the Cascade Kodiaks. It was evident from the beginning of the game that Kashmir would add another team to their ruthlessly defeated list. The Bulldogs seldom play to the score that they have already posted, which leaves them with a high deficit. Kashmir beat the Pioneers 77-30, moving their win streak to 8 games. Both of the boys' teams came into their face-off after big wins from the beginning of the week. The Bulldogs would begin the game with a lead but wouldn't end with it. At half, Kashmir was down by only 1 point, but the second half would prove to be difficult putting up points. Pioneers put up nearly 20 points more than the Bulldogs in the second half alone and took the win 63-45. Both Kashmir teams will be hosting their rivals, Cascade, on Tuesday, and on the same day, OMAC will travel to their rivals, Okanagan. I'm Madison Meyer with iFIBER 1 Sports.
This is iFIBER 1 News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at iFiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.